All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweeted out so everybody can join in here. One second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Traders, let me get this tweeted out so everybody can. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. And what a day, right? Fed day. So, good stuff. So, today we're going to continue our discussion on day trading volume. And today we're going to be talking about fake outs. So this should be a good one. Before we get started today, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we're at with the market. And then we're going to take a look at the futures, and then we're going to go over the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started here. So SPX. What a day today. Down 17 points. Barely a bump on the radar right here. I mean, the monthly chart just so strong, right? A little bit of a pullback here, but still approaching the upper Bollinger Band right here and really getting pretty close to all-time highs. I mean, the NASDAQ is already at all-time highs. So let's see if we can get there on this one. We still have room to go on the RSI and the monthly chart. Weekly chart, same thing, room on the RSI. Remember, the RSI got oversold here, and we had a bullish engulfing candle, which ultimately was the start of this move, this V reversal to the upside. We're back above the 30 weekly moving average and working our way up. So far this week, we're looking at a little bit of an upper shadow, potential shooting star, but we've got 2 awesome trading days left to see if we can work our way up and possibly get into this gap here on the weekly chart, which makes an awesome target for the weekly. Those weekly gaps do like to get filled. So we got that going on. Daily chart, second red day in a row. And is what it is, right? I mean, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Green days, and in fact, I think this is a green day on the SPY. And red day today, so a little bit of a pullback, but all thanks to the Fed, right? With the crazy algo movement after the Fed. So it drifted down a little bit at the close, and we got a little bit of follow through the downside on the futures. We'll take a look at those in a bit, and then we'll see where we end up in the morning. So let's take a look at the price action here on the SPX intraday. And so we can see here, I'm losing. I lost some stuff on this. Hold on one second. This here. All right, there we go. I lost all my sidebar stuff. All right, cool. So let's take a look and see where we're at. So this is the price action for today. So it's pretty crazy choppy price action, right? So it was choppy and then more chop. And what we had was a little bit of a move up, right? So we closed here and we gapped up here, and we faded that closing gap pretty quickly here this morning. Right, and then we pushed down below the 15-hour below for a quick move and then a quick bounce up, right? So the chop was already kind of starting. But what was pretty cool and pretty wild, and we really don't see this very much, but the NASDAQ was super strong today, right? Apple was strong, Amazon was strong, again. And usually you don't see those divergences. Usually they move pretty much together, but they were still putting money into tech today. And but we did see some short opportunities today in the airlines. The XLF, right, the financial companies. So Citi Financial is one we looked at this morning, and Bank of America, things like that. So a lot of those, the IWM really got kind of clobbered today with the SPX, but the NASDAQ was working its way up. So a divergent market overall today, and then a lot of chop, right? So we kind of held these levels right here at a big inside 15. I don't particularly like trading a big inside 15. I like to wait till it gets a little bit more. And then one of the things is we kind of avoid this stuff pre-Fed, so we know it gets pretty choppy in here. So this is kind of hands off. At this time, but there was still stuff moving, right? We had like Microsoft moving, a couple other ones too in this time range. And then right before Fed, right, the 2 o'clock, look at that, right in the 2 o'clock candle right there, down and up, right, bouncing back across between levels. And then it looked like it was trying to get strong, but one of the things we look at is our shadows, right? We had an upper shadow right here, so not too confident with that. And then we pushed above it, then another upper shadow right there. That's danger, right? And then we flushed down, up again, just crazy choppy stuff, and then they ended up flushing it into the close. So let's take a look at the levels. These are the levels that we provide to our members for each market open, so you can see which levels got tested right here. So we actually got all the way down here to a monthly pivot level right here, and we got a nice hammer off of that for a reversal. So that was basically one of the main ones, and then other than that, a lot of chop, a couple moves up to a couple other levels right here, and just a lot of choppy action. Guys, it was challenging, but there were some opportunities. We came up into a major resistance zone up here. Right, if we zoom out yesterday, look at that. See that it says up there, yesterday's high. Was that important? You bet it was. Look at that double top right there yesterday, right? So we had that M pattern that we talked about, right? So clearly there was some selling pressure in this area. When we got up to this area, we had an upper shadow, right? And you can see on the 5-minute chart that nice inside 5 right there, and then boom, see ya, right down to the next level. So it did give a nice move down on the SPX, right? So we had that good stuff going on today. So this is good stuff. We pointed this stuff out in the room, and it was great. So anyway, so good day today. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're doing. They're down about 7 points. They were down a little bit more than that earlier, but it looks like they are trying to buy the dip. It actually looks like almost like an inverse head and shoulder type pattern right here. So we'll see if they try to break out of it. I'm sure the plunge protection team will step in around 3 a.m. or 12. Sometimes they like to step in at midnight, and they like to step in at about 3 a.m. where they start pushing this thing. So let's see if they can get this thing green by the morning. But right now it's down a little bit. Let's take a look at the trend line here from today. So you can see from these levels right here, there. So we're just getting above the trend line right here. So we've got a trend box on this right now going into the rest of the evening. So we'll see if we can get above that and work our way back up to test the prior levels of the day. So we'll see how active they get on that. Like I said here, it does look like a bit of a sideways inverse head and shoulders. So we'll see if we can get above this, push. Got to get through these levels right here, a bit of a drop zone right there, and then we'll see if it work its way up to these levels here for the rest of the evening. So good stuff. So that is the futures going into tonight, and so now let's take a look and talk about the topic. So we're going to be continuing our discussion here on day trading volume. Okay, so really important stuff. And then today we're going to be talking about fake outs. So this is pretty cool. We've all done it. We've all been faked out before we're trading, right? Where things are looking good, things are looking bullish. It usually happens when you're trying to to buy a breakout, right? Things are going, everything's really bullish, right? And really looking to try to get a breakout move. And so one of the things that we look at, right, is the volume to try to catch those breakout moves, and it's a real good way to avoid getting faked out. Okay, so there weren't too many candles here on the 5-minute chart that were really fake out type candles today, but we did get a really nice one here on the 15-minute chart. So let's pull this up on the SPY. So this is pretty cool stuff. Okay, so on the SPY today, right? So this is a big move right here. So you can see intraday, right? We push our way up, blah blah blah. This is some crazy stuff here. But look at this. This looks like a strong candle, doesn't it? It's a big green hammer, right? So what's wrong with it? Why would we not want to get caught? How many people do you think got caught in this? They saw this green hammer. They're like, I'm going to go long if we break above this hammer, right? So they're like, okay, let's do it. And then they got caught, right? So it pushed a little bit to the upside and then came back down. We've all been there. We've all done it, right? So, but how do you avoid this? How do you just simply avoid that? It's like, wow, it's a strong candle. Why didn't it go up? Well, look at the volume. Look at the volume that happened. Decreasing on a green candle, on the first green candle, right? So decreasing volume. So this candle right here, that big blue, right? Less blue right here. And then this one right here, is it breaking out on less volume? Probably not. And it didn't, right? And so that's exactly it. So how do we avoid the fake outs? We don't go long on decreasing volume, right? And then one of the things you actually can do, right, is for a low risk, high reward potential, is if you see a fake out candle, instead of getting faked out anymore, you can actually short it, right? And where's your stop? Your stop's right at the high of these levels right here. Once it pushes above it, right, they're getting caught, you just put a stop right above those levels right there, real tight risk reward. Now, what's the probability of it? It's okay, probably a little better than 50%, right? We know it's a fake out, right? You get faked out with less volume. So try to take a short there, right? That's a possibility. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm not telling anybody what to trade, right? I'm just saying, but it is a possibility, right? This is a good area to look for a potential short. Instead of getting caught in a fake out, trap the people that trap the traders and the algos that got caught trying to trade it to the upside, right? And you could short it, and then you win that trade. And this one actually was a big win right here when it came down here. So do we want to short? Do we want to do that on every situation that it's low volume and it looks like a good breakout candle? No, not necessarily. But if we're heading into a key level, that gives you an even higher probability for a move, right? So if you're looking at a resistance level, for instance, like yesterday, right? If you're going to the highs right here, if you know already, right, that the if you know already that it's looking like a potential short opportunity, right, then you can look and you see resistance levels right here. You can look to try to take those here as well. Now this is kind of interesting, right? So this is another technique too. Notice how this candle was a green candle, but it left you with a pretty big relative upper shadow percentage-wise. You had increased volume on it. So what we can assume is that the volume that came in that pushed this over the top on an increasing volume is that there was selling pressure on this. And we came into some resistance here, right? So that's another fake out, right? So it's like, oh, this got increased volume. It's a green candle. Yeah, but there's a big upper shadow right there. And we're right into resistance, double top. So what could we do here? We could look to short it off of the next candle, and we could put a stop at the top of this candle right here, which is nice because it gives you actually a clear area to put a stop on. And then, boom, we get a nice move to the downside yesterday as well. So you guys will see this all the time. You'll see it on the daily charts. You know, a lot of times we look at it. Now, the daily charts could be a little bit tricky, right? So, but this is a good one right here on the daily here on the SPY, right? So just a couple days ago on Monday, right? Look at that. Big push up. Wow, this thing's bullish. This thing's going for the gap. We're going to all-time highs. Look at that candle. Look at that volume. Decreased volume, right? So possibility, right, for a, puts overnight, right? And look what happened. With a stop at the high of the day, and you got a nice move down, nice gap down, nice gift horse gap down on that one. It ended up pushing up a little bit, right? Saw the double top, and it came back down off of that. But look at that. Just a beautiful example of low volume, fake out type move. So volume really gives you a lot of clarity, right? It gives you a lot of clarity, and especially if you're coming into key levels, right? So you can see here, big drop area, right, from the Corona crash, right? What was that? That was a huge drop area. So what do? Fake out into potential resistance, right? And then you could look to potentially short off of that. A little bit of follow through today, but swinging through this mess is, but just getting a little gap down the next day is nice. So anyway, you can see that on the daily chart. You see it on any time frame. You just want to kind of think a litlittle bit differently than everybody else does. Right, so this thing was moving down here after Corona. Well, this looks like a big reversal. It's a 15-point candle on the SPY. This thing's ready to go. It's ready to go back to all-time highs. Decreasing volume. See ya. Going back down. How about this one? Okay, it's ready to do it. It's ready to decrease volume. Going back down. Right, so volume's going to tell you a lot about what's going to happen. Does it happen? Does it work all the time? No, not necessarily. But you got to watch your levels. See where you're going. All right, that's a really key thing. So anyway, guys, I hope you found that helpful. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. And if anybody, feel free to put any questions or chart requests in there, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, well, Shirley sent in a few via email, so let's take a look at a couple of those. So Tesla, let's take a look at Tesla. It's a huge move on Tesla today. So why was Tesla gapping up? Well, it got an upgrade to 1,000, and then it ended up blowing through that number today. But why else was it gapping up? It was gapping up on the the Nikola on the Nikola news, right? So right, Nikola makes electric big rigs, and Tesla's made some prototype big rigs, right? And so they basically just came out and they're like, okay, there's a lot of hype going on in that one. Well, we're going to be focusing on making them more too. Just ride that wave of the hype. And Tesla's great at that, right? So what did it do? Gapped up and go. Gap above the prior all-time high and go. So a nice move on Tesla today, and good volume today. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. I don't like going long on when it's this high up and it was really, really expensive, but there are some possibilities. We'll see what it has in store for tomorrow. I'd rather look for a day trade setup on this one, but still pretty cool stuff on that. So still bullish until proven otherwise, surely. Amazon, a little bit trickier here, guys. I didn't see this transaction happen during the day. I saw it afterward. I wasn't stalking it at the time, but crazy uptick today. I almost don't believe that. I believe that this is a bad tick, but it is possible that they bid this up really quickly. We did have some volume running in here, right? We had an inside 15. We broke out of the 15 orb. It's possible that it ran up 50 points or so in in a minute and then came back down, or it was just a bad tick. So what I don't like about it is that it's really making it look like there's a big upper shadow here. So it's kind of skewing it a little bit. So really, it's probably the range is probably more in there. And so if anything, it might be like a doji sandwich type move today, so just kind of keep an eye on that. But yeah, all-time highs either way. So good stuff on that. NVIDIA, fresh all-time highs too. Just watch out for the upper shadow on that one. And again, that's what we talk about. So I said, watch out for these. Well, wow, big volume on this one, right? Oh, it's all-time highs, but big volume, right? Which means there's some selling pressure here, and then you can go into the smaller time frame and kind of see where the volume was. Was there big volume coming in on the down candles, right? There's some pretty big volume on this candle, right? There was decreased volume on this candle. Right, there was big volume on this reversal candle, so we'll see, how much selling pressure is in this one and what is in store for tomorrow for NVIDIA. But still bullish until proven otherwise, so we'll look for long setups going into tomorrow. CRM inside day up today, so very, very strong. The software sector was very strong today, and CRM is one of the higher weighted ones in some of the software ETFs. So looks pretty good, right? Bullish till proven otherwise, right? So we've got a trend line right here from the Corona lows. It wasn't a fresh high, so we are actually still below the trend line, but it made a nice push to it. So watch that as potential resistance. It's also got to get above that guy there too. So, but interesting day on CRM. But let's see if it can work its way up. And then JD. The K-Web was strong today, so your Chinese internet names were good today. For the most part, it gave a good move up. Fresh highs on JD, right? If you look at the price action today, a little bit sloppy here, but it did give a move at the end of the day before the upper shadow there. So let's see how it does. Let's see how it goes in tomorrow. Again, at all-time highs, it gets a little bit sketchy, but anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely bullish here to prove otherwise. So good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. What's up? Let's take a look at Nicola. So NKLA. Right, this thing hasn't been on the market very long, right? Huge inside day gap and go a couple days ago, and then got a huge move up as well, right? Big gap up there and got to 93, and then came back down today with an inside candle closing on the lows. I believe it closed on the lows, right? Actually, it did recover today. No, it was closed on the lows and still moved down after hours. So in the lower end of this shadow right here. So wouldn't be surprised to see it try to work down at least to retest that, or maybe even the ADMA here at like 54. So let's keep an eye on that one. Crazy move on that one, and also because Tesla came up and said we're gonna compete directly, type stuff. Obviously that's scary for a brand new company. So we'll see how that goes. It could be interesting, right? So Netflix looking pretty interesting right here. Potential doji sandwich. Right, I like the ADMA crossing over the 21. We're over the trend box again, so let's see if it's trying to work on a fresh trend up. Let's give it a couple more days and see how it sets up for us here. But keep an eye on the bullish radar because it is trying to. It is officially changing trend here. So let's see how that goes going into tomorrow. And then Facebook, fresh all-time high and came off of it. Right, so not increased volume, but it came right down to the trend line right here. So let's see if it can get active again. And then Boeing. This is great. These are all our go-to names. We look at these every single day and in the morning, and that's what we tweet out at night, right? So it's a nice move up right here. It got over the cloud. It couldn't get over these levels right here. It's into the drop zone right there. Came back down to the cloud, held that, and then now it's kind of here. Let's see if it holds the ADMA. It might even want to come down and kind of test that gap right there. So it's kind of in a crazy zone right now. It kind of lost a little bit of steam here, but let's still keep an eye on it. It is still affected by news that comes out. So good. Good stuff. Kim, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Psyched for a little bit of the bubbly. Nice, thanks. But some Microsoft, Mr. Softy. So with a gap and go today too. Microsoft was hot. Software sector, tech sector, right? So big on Microsoft, big on Apple today, right? Big move over the prior all-time highs, and a great push up here. Got some good volume coming in today. Good volume coming in today, right? Big candle right here. Big volume right here off of this candle, right? For a nice move up. Bull flag. Right, even into even the Fed, right? This thing stayed strong after it, right? So you got a nice move here after 2 o'clock, right? Push to the upside, came back to your ADMA, a couple lower shadows right here, tweezer bottom, and worked its way up again there. So strong day today, drifting down after hours with the futures, but great move on that one today. SQ for Square. Yep, so it's getting there, right? Tagged all-time highs, trying to get out of this bull flag that we were talking about. But again, increased volume, but I want to see it close a little bit stronger than that. But again, we'll just keep an eye on it tomorrow, see if we can push through those highs and continue to make a go. And then AMD. AMD did it again this morning, right? The tech was strong, and then it, of course, left us with an upper shadow or up row at all-time highs. It's like, I want to play too at all-time highs, and it couldn't quite do it. And so, but it gave a great move at the open, just some nasty stuff after hours there. So we'll see how that goes with AMD into tomorrow. And then sad little KHC. Inside day down. That's what we looked at, right? So it had a great move, right? Great breakout candle right here, a huge volume on it, and it got the follow through. It did its job, right? It got to all-time highs, and then it's like, okay, yeah, done. I did it. High five, and then work its way back down. Inside day, you got to be careful with those, right? So especially when it's 50% through the range. If it was inside day at the top of the range, I'd be like, okay, yeah, we got a little more hope on this one. But right, we had that pennant formation, and we broke down below that today. It was decreased volume, but you still got that momentum move to the downside on KHC today. I know, sad KHC. Is it done? It could be. It's got work to do. It might just come back and tag the ADMA right here. I've got this level here for it too, right? So we can see this is a major level, like kind of this cup and handle type, level. So it may just come back and test that zone, like this area right here. But if it breaks below this and breaks below the ADMA, there's a strong possibility that it goes for this gap right here. And then rut row, it's got a big gap down there too. So it could be kind of wild on this one. This thing's typically a nasty trader, but it did give a couple decent moves there. But it might just be the fun might be over with it. So Its lost most of its moves off the Golden Cross, right? Exactly. How long is the Golden Cross superpower supposed to last? It might have run itself thin a little bit. As long as it's above it, right? We're generally kind of bullish right here. I mean, we are still bullish on our trend lines here, so we got a lot of levels, but it doesn't mean it can't kind of come back there before it tries to work its way up. So, the golden power right there. The algos kind of forget about it by this point. Now they're just like, okay, well the 50 is over the 200 and it's over this, right? We will continue to look for buy the dip opportunities if the volume is good, right? So that type of stuff. So, but not really quite there. So yes, KHC, probably let's take our eyes off until it moves again. All right, good stuff. Nkit, what's going on? Hope you're doing well and had a great day today. Good evening. Doing well, thanks. The banks, the XLF, right? So a lot of nastiness here in the banks today as they didn't like, the Fed stuff. They were just weak all day today. So it looks like they were kind of like trying to give us a preview into the Fed. And we talked about it at the live stream this morning. I said, keep an eye on this one. It might do like this kind of extended, flag type pattern. It did break down today on the XLF. And then the airlines, the oil stocks, all those were weak today, exactly. And those are the ones we pointed out, right, in our live streams today, too. So a lot of good opportunities on it. And Boeing was one, too. So thoughts on Boeing, right? We're kind of at the gap right here. It did defend this gap. You got the 8 EMA right there. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. It's down after hours. But this is what, look at, we drew this at the open this morning. Like, hey, guys, big move down here. Airlines are weak. Boeing's weak. Let's see if it gives you a flag. And it did give a nice little push down right here. And it actually gave a nice little 5-minute entry off of it here, off this inside 5 to break down below the 15-hour blow. So pretty cool stuff on that one. So let's see if it holds. Otherwise, you got these open gaps down here that might want to mess with. So it could be running out of steam on that one. The Oxy. It tried to hang in there today. I had an alert on it, see if it would, try to work its way up, but it just couldn't do it. Decent hammer yesterday, but decreased volume, watch out, right? But it did after filling the gap, so now it's basically testing that gap level again. So below there, 8 EMA, right? Below there, gap. Yowzer. So we got that going on. CVX, a little bit of oil action right there. Oil was nasty today. Oil was nasty at the open. XOM was one we pointed out at the open today, just a big flush there. And then just like everything else there, kind of like these kind of intraday, channel flaggish type patterns are there. And look at that, down after hours too on the oil. So blah on those. What else? UAL, yep, airlines week. We pointed this out short at the open too. Delta Airlines is another one that we pointed out for the group. Nice gap fill on this one. Folks did well on this today. Inside 15 down at the open. This one got a little bit bigger than the other one, so they tried to rally it a little bit, try to squeeze out some of those shorts, and still was down after hours on that one. So something to keep an eye on right there. It's got a couple levels down here that it might want to test. And then WFC, yep, another weak bank right there. Woo, nasty gap fill on that one, but beautiful move. We pointed that one out today too. JP Morgan. They tried buying the dip on this one and it failed, right? After the Fed, all the banks just kind of got weak again. So, again, keeping rates the same means like less profit for the banks, right? So, lower rates not good for bank profitability. So, we'll see how that goes. ZEK, CLSN. Let's take a look. CLSN, woo! Big move on that one. Nice break out of those moves. Hope you're doing well. Good stuff there. Yep, so basically got through this whole geo level today. So, looking pretty good on Celsion. So, let's see if I can get another move on that one. AMAT. A little bit of spinning top today. Could be working on the context that we looked at that bull flag type pattern right there. Tried to break out today, but couldn't give any confirmation. So see if we can get above that geo line going forward. Paul, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Great job today. Jay, hello. Yeah, Paul, let's look at DKNG. DraftKings. So DraftKings possibly working on a flag here. Possible flag pattern. Looking pretty interesting right there. Decreasing volume on a red candle. So keep an eye on it. Might try to perk up a little bit. Could be interesting. Delta Trader, Baba. Let's take a look. Hope you're doing well. Yep, Baba was pretty good. Again, the K-Web was good today. So this is just kind of one that had a decent candle yesterday with the incremental increasing volume on the way up here. And then gave you a nice candle and broke above these levels today for a decent move. We looked for a couple trades in Baba today. Here it looked like it was trying again. Just couldn't get a move. These are tricky ones, right? These are tricky trade areas. Right, so just tough on the K-Web right here. This is a big candle, right? Sometimes it's tough off of the big candles, right? You got to go to the lower term time frames and see if anything makes sense, right? So we had a bunch of really just kind of a messy stuff right here on that candle. You see all that nastiness right here, lots of upper shadows. Then you did have a nice green candle right here, but you got lower volume on it. So when you look at those bigger candles, it helps to go to the lower term time frames to see if it makes sense to try to take a trade. So good stuff. J Moss, what's going on? Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Beyond. Up $2 today after a choppy session. Right? So it's pretty interesting right here. You go to the daily chart. daily chart, a couple upper shadows right here. Tried to take the inside day up, couldn't get over these levels. Still consolidating though. Low volume on an upper shadow. So let's see if it just can kind of stay in this range and see if it gives another breakout attempt on beyond. Netflixius. Again, very similar right here. It got out of the trend box. Right, big candle the other day with volume. Right, still works its way up. So see if it gives you a doji sandwich move. It might try to work its way up if it wants to be strong tomorrow. So keep an eye on Netflix if it wants to try to hold this fresh trend to the upside. USO again pushed high this morning and came back down with the rest of the oil. It gave it actually a huge reversal move today. Huge reversal move on the intraday, right down, and then gave a big push to the upside. Then you had your upper shadow after the Fed, and then it worked its way down after that. So yeah, so oil got a little bit clobbered there, but it had a big reversal opportunity intraday. And then the SLG down. So we looked at that, right? Red candle yesterday, decent volume, right? Coming right into the gap, right at the 80 MA on that one. So see how that holds there for you. And then ENDP, nasty, just nasty. Wow. And that's the endo of endo. So it came right back to the triangle center right here. So see if that holds the support, but some big volume on that one. If the market does get weak tomorrow, we're going to put this on the short radar for tomorrow. Let's get that on there. See if it gets any more downside follow through on that. Give me 1 second. So let's take a look. Netflix could be a potential long again. If it wants to do a doji sandwich up. And I like this ENDP. Good. Nice find. Good stuff. Thanks, J Moss. Kim, bullish volume is increasing on SQ, but it's pretty low. Should that be a concern? Yeah, I mean, really, with that volume, you kind of want to look at the candlestick and see what it's doing, right? So decent volume right there coming in, starting to come in after a big move down. So remember this, it was kind of holding up here, decreased volume. See if it starts to amp up a little bit. Watch that upper shadow. Now, again, same thing, right? This thing is doing price discovery. It's always hard to trade at the all-time highs because you don't really have, a lot of selling pressure up there, right? So there's nobody's got shares at 95, right? So unless you just don't, right? So you got to see how it handles these levels up here and see what kind of activity you got, right? So you can go to the lower term time frames and see how it's going in here, right? So you look at your candles here. You had a nice hourly candle with some good volume, but then you had an inside candle with some volume. It kind of came down a little bit. So just keep an eye on it, right? See how it goes. Some good volume came in at the end of the day. It kind of held up a little bit. So just see if it gives you any intraday setups to try to give another break out of these levels right here. It just didn't break it with authority. Those geometric lines right there. So because of the upper shadow. So yeah, so we'll be a little bit concerned about it. Let's see how it goes going into the next couple days. Square's a tricky one. Good. Jay, what's going on? What happened with LMT? It just said done. Right, a huge candle the other day. Right, got a little gift horse gap the next day. Came down, held the 50% range of those levels. Right, and then worked its way up again, and then spinning top. And then it's like right into some selling pressure right up here. So see how that goes here. It's right at the 80 MA. Right, they're probably looking for some international incidents or something like that to start going again. And then yeah, solution is don't trade. Right, exactly. So good. What else? Alex, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at SIG, the mighty SIG. Ooh, nasty down move on that one today, but low volume. It's right at the 21 EMA. See how it holds that. A little bit of down move after earnings. Open gap right there. So see if that becomes a potential target on that one. This is a tricky one to trade with options, but sometimes you can go. Okta. Big volume on the reversal candle today. Software was strong today. So it started to put some volume in here towards the end of the day. Really, really choppy mess right there. But looking okay. So just see if it can kind of work its way up and try to get back over that 80 MA on the Okta. Good stuff. Kim, looks like SQ had an M pattern to close. Yeah, double top reversal into tomorrow. I hope so, right? So let's take a look and see. Sorry, I typed an M while you were writing that. Yeah, it's a square. Yeah, kind of a little bit M-ish type pattern. It could be another top there, but we always wait for the middle of the M to form. A little bit of a high right there. So I mean, it was a tight M pattern if you look at it that way, right? So and gave a little bit of a move through those levels and got some downside follow through here into tomorrow. But big ranges right here, so that might hold as support, right? There's a lot of pressure in that area, congestion. So good stuff. Andrew, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Now, show me now. Let's take a look at now. Yeah, big candle today. A little bit of an upper shadow here. Fresh highs. Again, software was strong today. Let's see if we can get some follow through. Just watch out for that upper shadow on that one. GOO shop. Trendy within the trend box. Chopping within the trend box right there. So it's over the 21 and it's right at the 8. So just something to keep an eye on, see if it gives us any good intraday setups if it wants to work its way up to the top of the trend box there. V still just slow grinding itself up with the upper shadows each day. It makes it really tough to trade. DE, nasty candle today, but not a lot of volume on it, so it might just be a pullback there with the market. LLY, upper shadow there, still within the cloud. Watch that volume on the upper shadow. It could be something concerning. And then triple M. Red candle too, but decreased volume. Very similar to like John Deere, stuff like that. So good. X Country Kev, what's going on? Roku, let's take a look. Hope you're doing well. So it tried to get out of the cloud. It did form essentially a fresh trend box area here today. So because of the pullback on it. So we'll just kind of keep tracking this right here. It's right at the cloud. I want to see some good volume coming out of this thing to see if it really wants to start an uptrend and maybe possibly work its way to the 200 day. Good stuff. Samir, what's going on? Good to see you. D-Dog. Still strong, guys. Very, very powerful name right here, and it is grinding its way up. SE, forever bullish. Right, this thing just keeps on grinding its way up. I don't even think this thing had any down move during Corona. It was basically just a blip on the radar, and then see ya on C Limited. So still looking good on that one. Again, just dips have always seemed to be viable on this one. So let's see if that trend can continue. Lulu's got earnings coming up this week. Still looking green. Fresh all-time highs on that one. Momo. Momo's a tough one to trade, guys. Inside day worked its way up. It gets lots of upper shadows and crazy shadows there. I would just be careful with this one. The China name can be a little bit challenging to trade. The SNE. Yeah, big gap up today on SNE. I like the lower shadow on this one here. I like the volume. You know, it's doing pretty good right here. Just kind of see where it's heading into. It's a couple of different drop zones right there, but it is working its way up. So looking pretty good there. To see how it holds that gap. It could just be careful it doesn't turn into a hanging man. So good stuff. The Nest, what's going on? Yeah, Beyond. Still kind of hanging around the upper end of the range, so let's see if we can get some more movement to the upside and try to continue that big candle up. Pen, possible doji sandwich to the downside. BJ, well, it never broke down, but it did give you an upper shadow to give you more inspiration for a potential down move on that one. Roku, again, trying to get out of the trend box here and out of the cloud, but couldn't do it yet. M, definitely got that fall through the downside. So, again, that's what happens when you take on $4.5 billion of debt. NVGO. Good push. You got your push today. That's great. And then it gave you an upper shadow. But nice volume today, so hopefully you banked on that. But it could still be slowly working its way up. Still holding the ADMA. ABMD hanging in there as well at 5 points today as we got an inside day, possibly still working on this this bull flag pattern. ZYME. Zymeworks. Crazy one right there with crazy shadows. I wouldn't even mess with this one. J&J. Got some news today. It was pretty strong this morning, then pulled back a little bit. Still in the chop zone. Possibly working on a crazy bull flag on that one. Sage spinning top at the bottom of the cloud, but still in the context of a larger triangle. And then good stuff. Merit Forever, Beyond, your favorite. I like it. That and like Scott's Miracle Grow, right? So growing the wonders of the world, right? So Beyond, yep, upper shadow again today here. And let's see if it, I like how it's still holding the upper end of this big candle right here. So that's good. Good stuff. Thanks for tuning in, Merit. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. X Country Kev, chug. Upper shadow here at the ADMA, still kind of in this big triangle pattern right here. So just kind of a lot of blah right here. No real volume coming in. So it's a tough one. It's not really a big momentum name, but it could be interesting. It's still hanging in there. Twilio, yeah, so Twilio, software name, Strength. We had Strength in software today, so that's looking pretty good. Work, again, more software. This got some movement too off of the double inside day and some decent volume on that one. So you get some follow through the upside. Levi, what's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, man. Roku, let's take a look. So Roku again in the trend box, trying to push its way up right there. Costco, forever bullish, hanging in there. It's not going down. It's not going up either. But it's hey, we're assuming it's going to follow this trend at some point eventually, right? So still kind of doing that, just chopping around after earnings. You know how it likes to do. MNST, a little bit of spinning top there below the ADMA, still kind of sandwiched between the 8 and the 21, and then Hasbro. So yeah, nasty move on that one. A little bit of a pullback right there, but low volume on that one. And while we're at it, let's just take a look at Yeti for old time's sake. A little bit of a spinning top right there, but it's holding the ADMA, working its way up. You gotta love it. Merit, URI, you love this one. Inside day today over the ADMA. Let's see if we can continue to hold right there. It is still bullish until proven otherwise. And then Zoom, yeah, we haven't looked at this one in a while. Wow, software sector strong. Inside day up. What? So we're going to sway back up to this prior inside day and hold the ADMA nicely. Wow, Zoom is looking really good today. Had a big move at the open, big momentum move at the open. Got basically like a tight, horizontal range right here. Good volume came in and then worked its way back up. Sideways action. Got below the EMA, but worked its way back up again after the Fed. So nice move on that one on the inside day up. And then JMS, bad news on ENDP also. Sweet. Let's keep that on the let's keep it on the bearish radar on that one. Latrell, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. AAPL. Yep, good old Apple, King Apple, working its way up, all-time highs, upward trend line, fresh trend line, looking great. So let's just see if we continue to hold this trend, right? So, I mean, it could pull back, right? If we see a red day, right, just make sure it holds the trend line and see if we can work our way back up on it. But definitely a buyable dip this morning. Some members really caught this dip right here in the pre-market range and gave a nice move up throughout the day today. So good stuff on that one. Cool one, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Abshag, what's going on? AMC. AMC, hey, gap up after earnings, and then blah, they flushed it right after it. So right under the 200-day. So looking a little bit funky right there. It's sort of like a morning star reversal, like in like a horrible like funhouse mirror. But it's below those levels right there, so just kind of see how it holds right there. I wouldn't be surprised to see you get more downside follow through on it. Chewy, that's a tough candle to want to own. And then Chewy had earnings, and it just kind of chopped around today. So Buddy was a little bit sad about that, but he figures it'll gear up on that one. Good stuff. Cool one. Yeah, Vive. Sector rotation in the software today. Some more strength in the software names. So yeah, so Vive was good. Another one to look at. Team, that had a decent move today. So good stuff on the in the software side. Let's see if we can hold up. That's right, Levi Rieti. Quebec, what's going on? GDX. Big hammer today. Nice push up there. So over the 21, over the 8. Let's see if we can get another gold cross up on that one here for the gold miners. Very, very strong move on that one. This thing just ripped today after the Fed and it kept on going up, right? So this was a little bit curious, right? The banks were down, gold was up, market was down. So it's, if the futures are down tonight, wouldn't be surprised with all that, but you never know with these things. So it could be good stuff. Good. Clubs, what's going on? How's Neo doing? Okay, so it finally got a little bit of a pullback after this epic move up here out of this geo line, right? So we had this this beautiful geo line right here, great breakout. Finally got some good volume coming in after earnings, and gave a nice move. And then it came out with this again too. It got out of these guys and was like, okay, let's keep going. Right, nice move up right there. Good, cool one. Thanks for your help in Candlestick Book. Yeah, my pleasure. Good. Yeah, it really helps to look at that. And then when you start combining the stuff with volume and things like that, this is a good lesson, a good discussion this week. How many times do you read this? A couple times, 2 or 3, and you can still use it as a reference. Yeah, 3 or 4 times is good, and as many times as you want. Just kind of keep it by your desk right there, and pull it up when you need it. Yep, yeah, Levi, good to see you, man. Les, hey, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Alex, what's going on? SPCE. Inside day down a little bit, but still holding some levels here. So we got this geometric right here that it's holding, right? So it's really kind of turning into a bit of a triangle right here. So let's see if we can break out, one of these days with some volume and try to maybe get its way out of the cloud here. So it's just kind of in a messy area right here. But sometimes it'll give you a setup intraday on some funky news or something like that. CAR kind of pulling its way down here. Again, it was moving up on the Hertz news, but so did Hertz, right? And it came back down to the 200-day with the lower shadow here today. Let's see if we can hold that and get back above the 8 EMA on that one. So we'll see how that goes. In clubs, yeah, PEP, great follow through from yesterday. Nice hammer yesterday, double inside day up. Found a little bit of resistance here at the 200-day. So we'll see how that goes on that one. Latrell, yeah, my pleasure. Liz, yeah, Microsoft. Missed a softie. So huge candle today. I mean, all-time highs. Just a big move today, and it just really handled any down moves. Nice hammers today, and nice bull flags today, and then it's kind of rode that 80 EMA up for the rest of the day, and then just a little bit nasty after the close today. But we had an upper shadow, so that makes us a little bit concerned, but still doing good. The things has been pushing to all-time highs for a while, and it finally got back up there. Really incredible stuff if you look at it, guys, since the Corona crash. It's like, oh, no, what's going on? Okay, yeah, just kidding. We're back where we were, and even better. So good stuff. Alex, yeah, my pleasure. Merritt, my pleasure. Well, good stuff, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Today's a great discussion on the fake outs, and I really like talking about volume. It's such it's an often ignored tool, and it's definitely one to stop ignoring and really look at, especially if you're looking for a setup intraday, and even on the daily chart to look for confirmation that, hey, maybe this does make sense, or maybe it doesn't, right? That type of stuff. So hopefully you guys found that helpful, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a great night tonight. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. Also hit the notification, and whether you're new here or not, be sure to hit the like button, and also check out the links in the description. So if you're finding us from YouTube, you can follow us on Twitter there, and also check out our website. So I hope everybody has a great evening. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the